project are these beautiful rosettes made from fabric. We've layered 3 or 4 different rosettes with a button, and these can be created to make a headband, or they can be great for prize-winning ribbons. So let me show you what you'll need. You're going to take an assortment of fabric. We just need small pieces, so scraps are great. We have needles with a large hole. It's very important that you use a heavy or a buttonhole weight thread because these are going to get a lot of pulling when we make them. We have assorted buttons and assorted colors of ribbon. And of course, keep your scissors and your pencil on hand. Now the first thing you want to do is to create your sizes of your rosettes. So we're going to nest those, so we can start out, there's a lot of different ways to trace out your shapes. We can start out with some nested templates. We could use a compass to make our circles, or you could use shapes. So I could take my ribbon and just trace around the outside edge on my fabric, but I want to have 3 sizes. So I've chosen like a 3, a 4, and a 6-inch size. I'd do another one possibly on the smaller one and then cut these out. So we just cut our circle. Remember when you're cutting, always move the material, not the scissors, and you'll get a nice smooth edge around the end. So we continue cutting, whatever your choice of colors, and today I'm working with yellow, orange, and purple. The next thing is to take my heavy buttonhole weight thread, and I've threaded about a 25-inch length of thread. I'm going to pull that thread up, and I'm not going to make a knot at the end. So let's start. I'm going to start with an orange one so you can see it well. This is the right side of the fabric. It really doesn't matter, but I'm going to poke up from the bottom to the top, pull my tail, and I'm holding it in my finger. I can either hold it with either hand so that I don't pull my tail out. And then I'm going to take a simple running stitch, which is go down and up. I'm going to pull. As you can see, my hand is still along the bottom so that I'm not going to pull my thread, not pull it too tight. And I'm going to continue sewing. So it's a stabbing motion up and down all the way around. You can see I'm putting a couple stitches on my needle. Again, I'm holding my thread, and then I'm pulling along. Now I'm going to continue going until I've gone all the way around. I'm going maybe a 1/4 of an inch from the edge. And you want to keep it as even as you can, but it's not, you know, extremely important that it's perfectly even. Let's keep sewing. Again, I'm still holding my thread because I don't want to pull it out because then I'd have to start all over again. Once I get to the end, I want to end at the same side that I started on. So I'm going to go down to the bottom, and then I'm going to let my needle pull out. I'm going to take my thread, and I'm going to pull both ends simultaneously, pushing the center in. These are called rosettes, or a lot of times you'll hear them referred to as yo-yos. Then I'll have my 2 threads together. I'm going to tie a knot, and let's tie a second knot to make sure it's nice and secure. This is why it's so important to use a buttonhole thread, because that's such a heavier weight. And there I've got my yo-yo. Now what I'm going to do is take and layer 3 different sizes. So I've cut 3 different sizes here, and I've made 3 sizes here. So I'm going to take my yo-yo, and instead of going face down, which is a smoother side, on this project we're using the back side. So I'm going to stack my purple, my orange, and then my yellow on top. And I've left all my strings hanging at the moment. Then I'm taking this cute little decorative button, but you could use any button. I'm going to take my thread, and this time I'm going to tie a knot at the end. I'm going to come up through the back, through the center of the purple, coming up through the hole. Then I'm going to come through the center of the orange, and then through the center of the yellow. Now I'm all to the end. I've got my other odd threads out of the way. I'm going to go through my button and then back down the center of the whole 3. And that's a little hard to push through, and then we'll pull our button. Now we'll take a small little stitch at the end, go through that loop, see that again, a small little stitch through our fabric, go through that loop, and we've created a knot. Now we're ready to trim all of our pieces away, all of our extras. So I'll trim all of the little threads from each of my yo-yos. And I have a finished rosette. Now the last final step is to take your rosette, and you can take any color ribbons that you'd like. I'm just going to cut a length of ribbon here. Go back, and you can stitch to the back. If you stitch just a whole set of streamers on the back, this would make a great ribbon for a prize, for a school activity, or maybe a sporting event. Or you can use the flowers as is, make them into a headband, or put a magnet, or even a pin back and make it a pin. So those are some great ways to use your flowers.